The lodging industry is known for intense competition and high volatility in cash flows. In such an environment, having access to accurate and timely data is essential for gaining a competitive edge and managing risk effectively. In this case study, we'll explore the limitations of public statistics when analyzing Korea's lodging market, and present an alternative solution. There are 5 major public datasets related to Korea's lodging industry. First, the International Arrivals Data, compiled by the Ministry of Justice, is a full count of immigration records. Second, the International Traveler Survey, conducted by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, samples foreign visitors. Third, the Domestic Traveler Survey, also by the same ministry, focuses on domestic travel behavior. Fourth, the Hotel Performance Survey, carried out by the Korea Hotel Association, provides sample-based hotel metrics. And fifth, the Lodging Business Ledger, maintained by the Ministry of the Interior and Safety, is a full listing of lodging establishments across Korea. Each dataset has its own purpose and structure. So, if investors or operators want to understand the competitive environment, they must first compile and reconcile these separate data sources. Let's take the perspective of a global hotel brand considering expansion into Korea in 2023. According to the International Arrivals Data, 11 million foreign visitors entered Korea that year. The International Traveler Survey reports each of them stayed an average of 6.8 nights. That gives us 75 million lodging guest nights from foreign visitors. However, this is based on a sample of just 0.1% of total visitors. Among them, 75% stayed in hotels. So, 56 million hotel guest nights were from foreign visitors. Now, looking at domestic demand, Korea had 49 million residents over the age of 15. According to the Domestic Traveler Survey, each of them traveled domestically 2.7 times per year and stayed 2.2 nights per trip. This results in 292 million domestic guest nights. Again, based on a sample representing just 0.02% of domestic travelers. Of those, 17% stayed in hotels, yielding 51 million domestic hotel guest nights. Together, that's 106 million hotel guest nights, with foreign visitors making up 52.5%. Another method is the Hotel Performance Survey. According to this survey, there were 43 million hotel rooms available in 2023. 66% of those were sold, which is about 28 million rooms occupied. With an average of 2.1 guests per room, that totals 58 million hotel guests. Of these, 21.8% were international guests, or 13 million. The rest, about 46 million, were domestic. Keep in mind that this estimate is based on 1,200 sample hotels. But the Lodging Business Ledger shows there were 1,600 hotels in Korea in 2023. Adjusting for this, the total guest estimate becomes 59 million. Here's the issue. The Traveler Survey-based estimate gave us 106 million guests, nearly 80% higher than the hotel performance-based estimate. Also, the international guest share differs drastically, 21.8% versus 52.5%. Since international and domestic markets behave differently, this gap can drastically affect risk evaluation and investment strategy. Lobin's data dashboard estimates 59 million hotel guests in 2023, composed of 19 million international and 40 million domestic. With 2.1 guests per room, that's 28 million rooms occupied. Dividing by the 43 million rooms available, occupancy comes out to 64.6%. Now, Let's look at a different scenario that a commercial bank is evaluating the motel market in 2023 to expand its lending portfolio. According to the Traveler surveys, there were 13 million motel guests, composed of 2 million international and 11 million domestic. The surveys don't tell us how many guests stayed per room, but assuming one guest per room, that's 13 million rooms occupied. The Lodging Business Ledger reports 17,000 motels with 140 million rooms available in total. That gives an occupancy rate of only 8.9%, which implies mass closure of motels, despite them accounting for more than half of total room supply. Why the gap? First, survey respondents may have misidentified where they stayed, as many motels use hotel in their names. Second, some may have intentionally avoided mentioning motels due to lingering stigma, even though the negative image has largely faded. Regardless, survey data always carries some level of contamination. According to the Lobin data dashboard, there were 210 million motel guests in 2023, composed of 27 million international and 183 million domestic. With 2.2 guests per room, that's 97 million rooms occupied. Against 140 million rooms available, this yields a much more realistic occupancy rate of 69.3%. Lobin's lodging database is built through a three-step process. First, define a logical sequence of key data points. Second, collect public statistics aligned with each data point. Third, conduct circular validation loops between adjacent data points to clean inconsistencies and minimize contamination. This process ensures a more reliable, structured dataset for meaningful analysis. Thank you.